The book I'm presenting to you today is called The Shift by Wayne Dyer. A lot of these photos I took except for one of them. This book talks about how we get away from who we are, and when we take on ambition, we usually take on a false sense of self called the ego. It explains the different shifts that we can go through to get away from this ego self we take on. It explains to us that we can fulfill our greatest calling when we consciously undertake the journey from ambition to meaning. We can transform our individual lives and, as an additional bonus, influence the destiny of our sacred planet as well. Meaning is emphasized a lot throughout the book, and how when you feel you have meaning in life, it is irrelevant whether you are happy or unhappy, you are content and you are not alone, and in your spirit you belong. This really ties in with De La Salle because he found meaning in his life by wanting to give back to the lower class of society. One of my favorite quotes stated in Chapter 4 is, "Your personal contribution towards the great plan for the evolution of man is to dwell continually upon the love of God, to look always into the light, and so train yourself to recognize God's goodness working through everyone else." I think as people we forget to look for the best in people. We are so quick to judge one another that we forget how to let people be and do what they want. I think De La Salle really embodied this because he didn't judge the rich or poor. He just made an option for people to choose. It was their choice whether they wanted his education or not. He did not condemn them for not picking his side. Another quote Dyer talks about in the end of the book is, "By giving up everything, letting go of all attachments, doing less, owning nothing, and practicing getting to know God by emptying rather than filling the mind." Dyer is talking about surrendering, which is the third shift one takes to find meaning. When you let go of all of the mind concepts and things and stresses that we hold on to, it is very freeing. Filling that empty void with knowing God will help open up new paths and ideas that you never knew existed. De La Salle reflects with this a lot because he really listened to God and found a path he probably never dreamed of going down. Being so selfless and giving up all that you have takes a very strong person. I think the messages that are implied in the shift really connect with De La Salle. It really encourages you to be selfless and find your meaning and purpose in life. Just as De La Salle models finding the right path for you that is not selfish and is very encouraging for the self.